Welcome back to Rootable, a series which I thought I would never be able to revisit since there was this restriction that I was only allowed to play the A and B routes with permission. But today somebody on Discord linked me a tweet with the announcement that this restriction had been lifted, meaning that I can actually play the whole game on YouTube now. So that's why I'm going to continue this, obviously. Speaking of Discord, in the meantime I've started my own small Discord server. So you're welcome to join and say hi. The link is in the description. Now, because I thought that I wasn't able to ever play this on YouTube, I did read about 30 minutes or so of the sea route before I stopped, since when I started reading this for myself in the week when I was sick, I noticed that I was just used to talking aloud, and I also noticed that it wasn't nearly as fun as when I was making this into YouTube videos, so I stopped about 30 or so minutes in, I don't remember exactly. But that means that although I did read a bit ahead, most of it, as you can see here, the endings are still not cleared and I still haven't unlocked the D route. Most of it is still unspoiled for me. This does mean, however, that I will be having 5 active series at the same time. And I wanted to release this video today, announcing that I will be continuing this. But I think starting from next week, I will slot Rootable in on its old slot before Tsukihime on the Tuesdays and before Tsukihime on the Fridays. So this part will be out today, Thursday, as an exception, and the next part will be next Tuesday. So without further ado, let's begin the sea route. The man who never lost heart has finally exhausted his strength. A boy was watching him from the shadows all along. Just what happened there after the man shot the boy down, and before he stood up again. Once he decides to leave his lookout and take matters into his own hands, the story will move towards its end, and thus the present has arrived. Where is the truth? I'm just saying one thing. Just notice when we start this route, it is immediately obvious, I think, why this was restricted in the first place. I hope you're ready for some mind screws. Let's begin.
そこでイエスが、名は何というのかとお尋ねになると、彼は答えた。我が名はレギオン。我らは多数であるがゆえに。新約聖書。マルコによる福音書。5章9節。
The blood poured endlessly from inside his left arm, his right leg. Nazika kept running, even though he was under the whitewashed tomb. He ran to get away from that man and to defeat him. And at the end of his flight, Naziko's feet brought him. To a vast hall where 6 spires towered above him. And then a gunshot shrieked from behind. Nasiko fell, pain burning through his left arm. Blood puddled on the floor as darkness and helplessness descended upon him.
ここがお前の死に場所か?
Nasiko didn't even have the energy to respond. Eventually, the man parted with those words.
お前の次はあの娘だ.
Nasiko stood up with all his might to put an end to the man's wicked deeds. There was but one thing Nasiko needed to do. It was his ability to destroy the man's mind. So he focused with all his mind, all his spirit. The man dropped his gun and screamed. His face rapidly froze over. And he ran for his life.
待て
Nasiko tried to pursue the man but staggered. Landed his back against the tower and collapsed on the spot. Blood streamed out from his entire body. He could feel his mortal flame fading. But to protect his beloved hometown and the people precious to him who lived within, so please work.
壊れてくれ
He mustered the last of his strength to destroy every last memory that composed the man's mind. And as the man fell, Nasiko's consciousness rapidly faded away. We all know from the first route, from the after route, that this is where Nasiko will be found later. Eventually, far past that frozen time, awake, a voice called to him, or perhaps it was merely a memory of such a voice. He heard that voice as he lay beneath the whitewashed tomb. And then time began to move. His consciousness was in an endless darkness. It felt like a world shut off from everything. Sight, hearing, touch, smell, taste. He had been disconnected from all his senses. He didn't feel like there was a world around him to experience at all. But he had no idea what was going on. He couldn't even tell if he was dead or alive. What in the world am I? Ripples of bewilderment spread across the calm sea of nihility, and then his memory suddenly returned. He remembered who he was, where he was, what he was doing, what he had gotten himself into. That's right. I'm Natsuhiko Tenkawa. You remember that he, an ordinary high school student, had got wind of a terrorist attack and went to Labo to prevent it. And finally, he remembered that he got shot by a terrorist. Then, am I really dead after all? No. I can feel something pulsing. You certainly could feel a beat. A heartbeat. He had his senses of vision, hearing, touch, smell, taste, and pain. Both his body and consciousness were here. I'm still alive.
隊長、しっかりしてください。隊長、起きなよ隊長。隊長ってば。
Roused awake by those voices, Natsuhiko opened his eyes.
Ah, 気がついたのですね。
And welcome to the beginning of the A route, basically. This was my first major what the hell moment. This is putting everything that we've seen, that we've thought we saw before, and turns it on its head.
よかった。死んでるかと思ったよ。
Huh? Before his eyes were two female rescue workers, one of whom he recognized. June? He tried to say her name, but for some reason, his lips seemed to be paralyzed. He had his senses, yet it felt as if his nerves weren't connected properly to his body. It was a strange sensation. What's going on? As soon as Natsuhiko questioned the situation.
君ら、いや、ここは。
His mouth moved on its own, and his body even got up, in spite of Natsuhiko's intention. Natsuhiko was bewildered at the sight, for he was in a clearly different place, and where he had passed out. Agonized voice suddenly came out of his body, which once again collapsed in the passageway. What's happening? He felt the sensation of a headache, yet he did not feel like what was happening was real.
大丈夫？痛むの？
いや、大丈夫だ。
His mouth moved on its own again, and his arm suddenly came into view. Why am I in a rescue worker's outfit? His body disregarded Natsuhiko's confusion and got up by leaning his arm against the wall. Why has my body been moving on its own? Is someone controlling me? But right when Natsuhiko considered that suspicion. He heard an explosion.
また爆発。火が出てるかも。行こう、副隊長。ええ。隊長はそこで休んでいてください。私たちだけで行ってきます。
And with that, the two rescue workers ran off. They're saying, I'm a rescue squad captain. In spite of Natsuhiko's bewilderment, his body moved on its own. I followed the two women.
待ってくれ君たち。
I just now realized that he had heard that voice before. It was the voice of the terrorist who had shot him and Mashiro. Then that means... This is that man's body? Area 1, B2, Outer Ring was engulfed in hellfire. In spite of Naziko's will, his body just stood there, unfounded. That's gotta be it. I must be in that man's body right now. He did not know why he was inside him, but he knew that he was. That was when the man's ears picked up a faint voice.
あの部屋誰かいる。
Then they need to be saved. Right as Natsuko came across that thought, the man dashed through a gap in the flames and discovered a world of fire and smoke. Well, in the previous routes we found out, was surprised that Yumi was in fact a figment of Natsuko's imagination, a hallucination, so how can she be here? The man's eyes froze in place, and though the smoke he saw, Yuri? What's Yuri doing in a place like this? Am I hallucinating again? At where does Natsuko had that thought? The girl's face froze over. And then someone else's thoughts ran through Natsuko's consciousness.
なぜそんな顔を。
What? What's with that voice? It sounded like telepathy. Before he realized it, the man's feet had stopped in their tracks. Could that voice have been what he was just thinking right now? If he is cognizant of her, then does that mean she's not a phantom? Shit. And we've got to save Yuri. And quick. He could see the flames encroaching closer and closer to Yuri's body. If I can hear his voice, then I'm sure as hell he can hear mine. Natsuko focused hard in the same way he would when he used telepathy.
止まるな。彼女を助けろ。行け。彼女を助けろ。
Natsuko's voice echoes in the man's head. And with that command giving him the final push he needed, the man lunged into the blazing flames. The fire was masterfully extinguished with the skillful efforts of the two rescue workers.
さあお嬢ちゃん、もう大丈夫だよ。お怪我はありませんか？はい。
Natsuko looked long and hard at the girl through the man's eyes. Is that really Yuri? But Yuri was supposed to have died 9 years ago. Yuri didn't have a twin sister by any chance, did she? No, I could have sworn Yuri was an only child. So, would she be her clone? Or something then? Still such a spitting image of Yuri that he couldn't help but ponder such absurd impossibilities. At that time, the man's eyes turned towards their two rescue workers.
ところで2人に聞きたいことがあるんだが、俺が隊長って呼ばれてるってことは、つまり俺はレスキュー隊かなんかの隊長なんだよな。
はあ？隊長、何言ってんの？それはどういう意味でしょう？
実はわからないんだよ。自分が誰で、ここがどこなのか。
Everyone on the outside was shocked by the man's confession, but Nasiko was rather relieved. And that means that memory shattering did work. Thank goodness, I successfully destroyed the man's mind. To be honest, if I think of shattering someone's mind, I just imagine somebody just turning into a blubbering mess, like not being able to function properly and just muttering incoherently. But this is just amnesia. Nasiko recalled what had happened back then. Show me all the memories that compose his mind. Please, work.
壊れてくれ!
That was Nasiko's memory of just before he had lost consciousness. It was more accurate to say that he had destroyed the man's memories, rather than his mind. As a result, the man appeared to be suffering from amnesia. Then, did his hatred and murderous intent disappear too? We had no evidence that said that much, but all signs of the man's demeanor suggested that Nasiko could relax for now. But Nasiko grew depressed when he recalled the details of his own loss of consciousness, his blood loss, his senses fading into darkness. He was by no means okay. Well, it's no wonder. With that many gunshot wounds, anybody would. Anybody would die like I did back there. That fact cast a dark shadow on Nasiko's mind. But then, what am I now? Don't tell me I'm a ghost. As that possibility crossed his mind, he recalled a story he had heard just the other day.
極端な話、幽霊もひょっとしたら BC の一種ではなんて考えさえあるのよ。テレパシーによって発生した BC のエネルギーは発生と同時に減衰し始めるけれど、すぐゼロになるわけではないわ。つまり超強力なテレパシーは対象者がいようがいまいがしばらくその場にとどまりうる。
死んだ人の思いはこの世に残るってことですね。
I do wonder if that means that Yuri is such a powerful communicator that she was able to manifest herself again. That's the only theory I can come up with at this point, that she's alive again somehow. Even though we all saw that she died 9 years ago. Nasiko likely died while he was still inside the man's mind, and thus the BC energy Nasiko used was still lingering inside the man. So, my consciousness isn't here now, huh? Who would have thought I would personally experience a hypothetical we discussed in class? Also, I'm sorry about my voice, as you can probably tell. Week after week, I've been going to my doctor complaining about my sore throat, but it's not getting better. It's almost like I've become an impure spirit. I don't think the one who had killed me. He was unbearably sad that he would no longer be able to see Mashiro, Saoyu, or even his own mother again. At that moment, Nasiko suddenly noticed that the lieutenant was trying to inject the girl with something.
腕を出してください。
打ちたくない。
ダメです。投与しなければ危険なんですよ。
The lieutenant forcefully injected the girl.
なんだその薬。
AD と言います。簡単に説明すると放射線被曝を防ぐ薬です。
Even though we know there's no reactor in the center of the facility. So that makes me think that what the real purpose would be from AD. According to the lieutenant's explanation, AD was a drug provided by Labo that will serve as protection against certain levels of radiation for about 60 minutes. Furthermore, Labo also provided rescue squad members with radiation measurement devices known as procyon, which the squad apparently carried as they conducted the relief efforts. And during the lieutenant's explanation, she told the man this.
原子炉がつい2時間ほど前メルトダウンしたのです。
That revelation gave both the man and Nasiko a great shock. No, in the end, the meltdown still happened. Damn it, I thought things would work out if I just defeated this bastard. The man's comrades probably blew up the nuclear reactor. Then, what have we been fighting for? As Nasiko wallowed in his helplessness, the man checked his own pockets, then found a single ampule of AD.
使い方は簡単だよ。専用のカートリッジが付属してるからそれを装着して、あとは先端を折って静脈に密着させてノック部分を押すだけでいいから。
The man administered the medicine as told, and a sudden change occurred in Nasiko's consciousness. He was struck with an abrupt, intense feeling of loss. The same sensation he felt after he fought with the man. The sensation that he was fading away. What is this? Am I going to disappear just like this? His five senses rapidly faded into the distance. Death soundlessly drew near for the second time that day. And that's when Nasiko prayed from the bottom of his heart that until he could confirm as he rose and saw your safety. Until he could discern that girl's true identity. Don't let me disappear. But that prayer was in vain. Natsuko's consciousness was buried in the darkness.